This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvalgrim here and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to do a build guide on the Batman Who Laughs, and unlike my previous build guides, in this one I'm going to try to walk you through the process of doing the builds and through the process of reaching those perfect values, because let's be real, a lot of you and maybe most of you will not ever reach a perfect build, and that's totally understandable and totally fine, because the talents are a garbage system and it's gonna be very hard for you to get full epic talents and full specific epic talents that I'm going to show you in this build. So while we're going to show you the perfect builds, I'm going to show you the perfect builds, we together are also going to first of all go and identify all the percentage stats that you should have on this dude. So even if you're not really following this build, you are following the guidelines towards getting the right percentage values onto this dude. So first up, let's establish what he needs. As average damage dealer, he will need crit chance and crit damage. There's no damage dealer in the game who doesn't need crit chance and crit damage, except for Multiverse Armor Supergirl, but she kind of needs them, though she gets them from another place, so no need to put that in the build. But this dude does need crit chance and crit damage. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. Now, what other things does damage dealer need? Well, fast actions. Some damage dealers need fast actions, some damage dealers don't need. What type of damage dealer is he, and does fast actions benefit him? Well, we're going to get into his abilities. And the Darkest Night, by the way, let's remove this because it's gonna show 3 fast attack hits, and that's kind of weird. But yeah, he's gonna need fast actions because his fast action is going to synergize with his passive. First up, he's gonna get a damage boost, and pretty much every character that gets a damage boost, it's worth to have fast actions on. And second of all, it's going to synergize with his percentage health damage that he's gonna deal on basic attack hits. So fast actions is something that we definitely need. So that's gonna be another thing that we will have to put here. Now, there's a lot of characters that will need armor pierce on basic attack hits if they're going to base most of their damage on, let's say, basic attack hits. And he will need it? Nope, actually he's an exception to the rule, because he's got an ability that gets pretty much sorted out in that regard. He's going to have this ability which is going to give the enemy Sunder debuff for quite a long time actually. So Sunder debuff is gonna do make everything that's thrown at the way of the opponent deal armor piercing damage, including basic and ability, so there's absolutely no need to put any armor pierce on his talents. Now, does he need lethal attack chance? Nope, he doesn't have any synergy with lethal attack chance. So those are all the percentage values that a damage dealer will need. Now, you might need to add some defense, and we'll get into this later and I'll explain. Keep in mind, I will have a split in terms of builds from the point where you can easily choose to go full attack or put some defense in there without altering the rest of the build, so that's gonna be fine. But you might want some defense, because this is a dude who's gonna stay for the whole fight in the fight. The more he stays in the fight, the more damage he's gonna do. He's not gonna have that much health to go around, and at the same time, he's not gonna have any way to heal himself. Though he has some ways to counteract this, because he's got Ultimate Despair, who's gonna decrease the damage of the opponent. And he's gonna be able to interrupt specials with his own specials. So you might want to have defense, you might not want to have defense. And the defense is going to pretty much go in the way of attack on the gears. And that's gonna be fine, because nowadays attack is one of the most irrelevant stats for damage dealers. Don't get me wrong, it's still needed, but it's gonna be kind of the last priority, because you're going to get most of your attack from the artifacts and from your teammates. And all today revolves around percentage values and attack from artifacts. So we're going to get into that later on. Now that we have identified what this guy needs, that being crit chance, crit damage, fast actions, and maybe defense and the rest of the things into attack, let's see what's the most optimal way to get those values. Keep in mind, most of you are not gonna have this way of optimal values, and that's totally fine, because talents are a bitch to get. Do your own build, but make sure you follow those percentage values and you're gonna be fine. But yeah, so he's gonna first up beginning with critical attack chance. He's gonna have a lot of critical attack chance to go around without you even building any of it. So the 5th gear at level 70 is gonna give him 24% critical attack chance. He's gonna have a 10% base critical attack chance, and he's gonna have a 10% gear set critical attack chance. So this is going to put him at level 70 gears at a whopping 46% critical attack chance without you adding anything. Now, if we add another gear roll on level 70 gear, that's gonna be a rare roll, obviously, you're going to end up with a 63% critical attack chance. That's pretty good. But what if we added an epic talent on top of that? Well, then you have, congrats, you have the exact 75% crit chance value that you need. You're hitting the cap without going over it, and that's gonna be perfect. So all you're going to need in term to max out your crit chance with level 70 gears is gonna be 1 epic talent and 1 high roll on the gears. Now, getting on the critical attack damage side of things. It's not necessarily what's gonna be best for critical attack damage, it's most likely gonna be a question of do we need to put any critical attack damage on the gears after we're done with the talents? Because so far we only have 1 crit chance thing on the gears and we need crit damage, fast attack chance, and attack. Attack sucks on the talents, and fast attack chance is non-existent on the talents, so he's gonna have a base of 175 critical attack damage, so he's gonna be slightly higher than most characters. And what happens if we add all the 5 remaining talents to crit damage? So adding 5 crit damage talents is gonna amount to 120% more crit damage. And if we add that on top of his base crit damage, it's gonna be a total of 295 crit damage. Which is gonna be close enough to max, so that's a reasonable amount. Though, again, talents are a bitch to get. You shouldn't try to get them as a new player. And they're not really that much of a priority. So if you wanna put some of this crit damage on the gears, that is gonna be perfectly understandable. You don't need to have any on talents at all as far as I'm aware. He's got plenty of room on the gears if you wanna do that for now. So don't sweat it too much and don't waste a ton of credits on this. But the talents are going to go to crit damage in the most ideal scenario. And as we sorted that out, again, mine's not gonna look weird. We have fast sections. Mine looks weird because I got lower level gears for now, but as soon as you get your gears to level 70, 1 roll of fast sections is going to give you 17%. Now, if we multiply that by 4 and we add the 1% base, you're going to end up with a 69% fast sections with 4 gear rolls. Some people like to do 1 less gear roll fast sections than that. And there is some mathematical reason why people do that, and they would rather have 52% fast actions than 69%. I've seen people doing that on Camouflage and Sakomen. What I'm gonna say to that is bullshit. My caveman brain says 69% is bigger than 52, and it's a nicer number, okay? But it's just 4 fast actions gear rolls. Now that we got all of that sorted out, we're going to be left with 10 gear rolls. Now, it is up to you. With those 10 gear rolls, you have 2 choices. You can either go all of them 10 in attack, or 8 of them in attack and 2 of them into defense. Now, if you put 2 of them into defense, he's gonna have an okay amount of base defense, because he's gonna have base defense here, and he's gonna get 24 base defense from like the gear once it's maxed, the 5th gear. So if you're going to go with 2 rolls of defense, you're going to end up with a total of 68 defense, if I don't get that wrong. But okay, close enough to that amount regardless of if I get it wrong or not. I think it's 68 exactly. 68 defense, and that's gonna be fine. So you can put 2 defense rolls on the gears definitely, or you can go all attack. It's a simple question that's up to you, and the question goes this way. Does he die, or does he not die? If he dies, put defense. If he doesn't die, don't put defense. And again, it's not gonna matter that much because you're basically just repressing attack. So yeah, that's gonna build a build. You might be like, Sigvald, why aren't we getting calculations also for the total attack that he's gonna have, bro? That was the most time-consuming part of the build, guys, and if I calculate the total attack that he's gonna have at 7 stars, level 70 gears, all high gear rolls, level 80 character, It's not gonna change a goddamn thing because we're not building it around the attack value that he's gonna have, and nobody cares. So I just got the part where I calculate the exact amount of attack that he's gonna have, but he's gonna have a decent amount of attack, okay? Just trust me on that one. And now for the legendary talents. It's gonna be a little bit rough, so I think the best choice with the legendary talents. Actually, there's kind of two choices, but I didn't get to test the second choice. The safest choice is to get a legendary attack talent, which is gonna give you 10% more base attack, which is gonna be an okay value. The second choice is to get the lethal attack damage talent and go ahead and put some lethal on the gears. But again, that's not tested out enough for me to be able to recommend it. But yeah, that's the build guide for the Batman Who Laughs. Thanks so much for watching, hope you found this useful, and hope you're able to build your Batman Who Laughs without wasting too much on talents after hearing me out and trying to learn how to build a bit yourself. But yeah, all that being said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.